to the next item, E31711, 2023, proposed alienation of a portion of 6393 Mossel Bay, 4,800 square meters, suited in Ekurhuleni. And then it's G. Coetzee on behalf of South African Global Trust. But I know also we must, if we're doing this item, we must excuse Councillor Coetzee. Conquer Trust. May we have a proposal for this item, please?
Madam Speaker, as the Ward Councillor, I propose.
Thank you. May we have seconded, please?
Seconded.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Delamay. Any questions, any comments? Councillor Gous?
Speaker, yes, this area of land, if I've read the item correctly, this person is willing to spend almost R1 million to make public property. So what is the advantage to this person for wanting to do so? My concern regarding this item is that 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, the ordinary man is no longer going to have access to Third Beach in Dana Bay via this piece of land. Even though it's been dressed up as being for the community's good. Currently, you cannot enter into MOQUINI estate unless you provide proof of a fisherman's license. So in other words, somebody like myself, who's not a fisherman, cannot just go and enter MOQUINI to access the beach and enjoy it recreationally. What's happening here is we're essentially privatizing public land for the enjoyment of the rich. ACDP is not going to support this item.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. Any further, Councillor Mkhonto?
Yes. Thanks, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think on the issue of alienations, our position as the ANC will be always clear, especially on issues like this. Here we were discussing the issue of not having lands to develop with in the area that we have with slope land, all those things. But the reality here is that the Municipality of Mossel Bay, at the eyes of the community, is being seen as if is always protecting the business people, or is always prioritizing the business people, not the public. This is what the community is saying. And the other thing is that I don't know when we must also, the disadvantaged communities, they must also open trust. But the reality is that we don't have money to buy these lands. What you notice in our areas, most of the portion of land will be always people that will be buying those land is people that have money. And we did request on this council, can you try to restore at least a way of balancing that the other communities, they don't have means of buying these lands. For example, if we want to compete on this one, we won't be able to compete because we don't, firstly, we don't have money. Secondly, the area that is there is the area that we might be allowed, but the policies or the way of doing things, we are not allowed. So we are against.
You are against the item? Thank you. Is the do you think we thank you, Councillor Botha? You can go on to whip.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. No, just a point of order, Madam Speaker, through you.
Yeah.
As this was not explained this morning to the gallery with the election of the new speaker, but Madam Speaker, except for the purpose of writing the official minutes of a meeting by an employee, nobody may, unless express prior approval of the chairperson of the meeting has been obtained, make any recording, whether audio or visual, or both audio and visual, or of a meeting or a part thereof. So, Madam Speaker, if members of the gallery can please just refrain from making recordings and videos. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Whip. It's a very important thing. You can't do that. If anyone do that, that's really not right. Thank you for mentioning it. Councillor Porter.
Speaker, thank you. On that input, I think Councillor Faisal Porter still has a very clear stance. That rule is a rule that is non-existent because of the practice of this council. It remains an open council, open for the public. My question is this council meeting recorded as an open council meeting on YouTube as it's supposed to be? I don't see the talk here today.
Are you?
So I'm not sure how the wagging tail would want to eliminate certain things. This is a public space as it is. It hasn't been called as a closed council. It's a general public meeting. It must be recorded that Councillor Porter is making that input here today.
Thank you, Mr.
So let us not bully people on what to do and what not to do, be allowed to do. Secondly, to the issue on the item. I'm not sure what Councillor Kutsia's involvement is here. I see a Kutsia name or surname. But he left the chambers on this matter. I would like to know what his involvement is there. That's one. And two, it's just very strange when we're dealing with this type of properties. And again, people from where I reside would come to this municipality, have interest in land. That person will be directed to a certain department and then he will be told, now, sir, that you have identified a piece of land which you are interested in, it must go through a process. There's public participation, must go to the media. You must pay the cost of it. By the way, just the other day, I saw a very rich man in this town, the municipality pay his cost for advertisements in the newspaper, but that's not the point of what I'm trying to make. Let me get back. So you now have to go to the newspaper, and you have to do public participation process, and the piece of land that you have identified must now go on a tender. Meaning whatever your idea is, whether you want to dream business or want to get into business, you have identified the land, the filthy rich people of Mossel Bay will come to their tender process and you will be ousted and your dream is gone. But again, when the filthy rich people would identify a piece of land at the beauty of the beaches that God has given us, it does not go through that process. The process that it goes through is here, where the majority of people of the DA sit and put up their hand for alienation and not through a tender process. Why are we having the differentiation in how people are being treated when they want land? Why is it that certain people are getting land through this process and the marginalized, the historically marginalized, who wants to do something better in life is going through a process where the filthy, stinking rich people will oust them through the money that they have already in their pockets? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. I'm going to ask the whip, Councillor Botha. Oh, no, the Executive Mayor. My apology, Executive Mayor. I'm very sorry.
Speaker, no, thank you very much. We were also concerned, or it was quite peculiar, that somebody want to come and buy a piece of public land, exactly how Councillor Gou stated it. But I think from our side, we welcome any affluent person who want to come into our town and invest into the future and not gaining benefit from that. And if and I agree, we might have serious concerns if that's the true intention. And I think for that reason, there's a list of recommendations as long as my leg that the person do use it for what the intention is. So we welcome that. It's quite peculiar that we're having a long debate about people not wanting to come and give us something for free. I do understand the worries. I don't think we will get any, with all respect, I don't think if we go out on tender for this piece of land and we ask the community to come and erect a toilet facility for us for free, that we're going to get any tenders there. And I think that's the reason why we alienated. Yes, it's an affluent person, and it's a person who want to invest on that beach, and we welcome it. And to ensure that the intention has been reached that this council wanted for or to be utilized for, I think that's why all that recommendations is in there, that we ensure. I've seen that the person has only got 12 months. If he doesn't do the construction in 12 months, there's various fallback clauses. And I think we should rather apply our mind and see how we should, or what other clauses we should put in to ensure that we get the benefit of this, not try to argue this guy away. Let's get the person who want to invest, but see how we can ensure that it benefits the community. Why are we chasing people away? There's rich people in the world and there's not so rich people in the world, and we can't wish them away. If they want to come and spend their money here, let them. But let's put the right checks and balances in place.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. I just want to ask the whip, or just to explain about Councillor Kutsia, why he's not.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a family member of his. That's why. It's not a direct family member, but once again, through abundance of caution, the councillor has excused himself. No, Madam Speaker, then as to the item itself, it's worrisome if councillors don't read the agenda. If you can go through the recommendations there, point 2, that the property only be utilized for conservation and as a coastal access point. Point 10, that the public will have free coastal access to and over the property at all times. We are going off on tangents about things without having read the agenda. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Whip. We appreciate you. So we're going on. Councillor Porter, you are concluded?
I want to conclude simply by saying, Speaker, if all the rich people of this country will come, as we call them, the Great Escape to Mossel Bay, would buy all this land and the seashores, those who remain poor, the true and aboriginal people of this town, whom I am a representative of, will not have access, same like in Hartenbos, where you've got booms where our people used to walk and fish and live. I want to leave this item on that note, that you continue with the rich against the poor, and you will push us back tot daar waar die nuwe vullisgatte en hope nou van die garden route gebouw is.
Thank you. Councillor Dubulo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very short, we're going to conclude this item now. We have debated a long time now, okay?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, we conclude with you.
But remember, Madam Speaker, I have the 5 minutes. Ne? Yeah, thank you. Madam Speaker, I want to speak my language, man, for this issue. True, when Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, true when Madam Speaker, malunga nale whip I think ayomfihlo lenhlanganiso ebesibona Mossel Bay evectize belapha bethatha inotes effort ezibesibona lapha eTV ba live lenhlanganiso. So wonke umuntu akanike freedom yakhe. If any person want to take the pictures here and the recording in videos, we must give that freedom, because they read is public. This one, first one. Second one, Madam Speaker, umcimbi wemihlaba, umasipala wethu uyakwazi uthengisa, kodwa akakwazi uthengela abantu abafuna umhlaba. Masenze umzekelo nge-pig farm. I-pig farm kwenza i-exchange, thanga uthenga umhlaba unikwa abantu umhlaba so that bakwazi ufuya, kwenza i-exchange. But ukhambe umuntu ofuna ukuthenga umhlaba uyawuthengisa umasipala. kodwa abakwazi banceda abantu abahluphekayo. So eli bhunga liyasibhidisa kakhulu. So isingathi niyiqwalasele into yobana umhlaba mawuthengelwe abantu abawufunayo. Ungasolo umasipala ethengisa kodwa akwazi uthengela abantu. Sine-informal settlement njengangoku nefuna umhlaba, anikwazi uthenga umhlaba u-private land. Kodwa niyakwazi uthengisa. Asiyabi yapha le Mossel Bay.
Thank you, Councillor De Boulon. I think, Councillor Coast? No,
you.
I know I give you a few times, but I will give you only this time now also, please. We must go on.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would just like, for clarity's sake, to state that I did read the agenda. I did read the fact that this person is going to allow access and so on. That's why I specifically mentioned the timeline, because we've seen this happen time and again in Mossel Bay, where estates and other areas are granted the opportunity to put up gates and to close off areas with a provision that they will allow full access to the public, and then they just don't. And that is what's going to happen here as well. There's no reason somebody will spend R1 million to put up toilet facilities for the public to use when he could, in my opinion, just as well have approached the municipality and donated the toilets on municipal land. The fact that he's purchased the land to be in his own name tells me that he has an agenda with the land, and 2 years from now, we can go and take a look if the public really does have free access across that land. I stand by my point. The ACDP strongly objects to this alienation. I think it's completely contrary to what the Constitution tells us is fair and transparent and equitable alienation of land.
Do you have a counter? Is there any counter proposal? Do you have a
Speaker?
seconder?
My counter proposal, well, let's see. My counter proposal is that we approach this gentleman and we ask him, thank you for wanting to spend this much money in Mossel Bay. Are you willing to do it as a donation towards this municipality? I've seen it on our budgets before, on our capital budgets. I've seen where we've had items donated in our annual financial statements. The same can be done here.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder for you? Thank you, Councillor Porter.
Vote, yes, vote.
Voting. I want to know who's for the item. Can I put up your hands, please? Seventeen people for. Can I see who's against this item? For the other proposal. Who's for the other proposal of Council House? 2?
Madam
3,
Speaker,
no, 3.
Can I get the light? The Freedom Front Plus is against this item. Totally.
Against. Okay. So against can you just put up your hands again? The proposal for what from Council House donation for a
Speaker,
donation.
if I can just clarify. So the second proposal was that the land not be alienated at 980,000 rand, but that the person be approached to make a donation to the Mossel Bay municipality of those because that's the grounds on which this land has been alienated to him. That he is going to erect toilets. So let's ask him to donate the ablution blocks and not purchase that land.
So this is what we ask, which person the councillors for Councillor House proposal, please put up your hands. Right, and who is against?
No, I also want to be very clear, because Speaker, you're confusing us when you.
Council House make a proposal, and I ask who's for the item like it is. Okay, now Council House came and she make the proposal another proposal, right?
I just want, Speaker, my understanding. She vehemently oppose the item. That's one.
Okay.
Two, how she understands the item is that this man wants to erect this stuff there for the purpose of the public, which she doesn't believe it's the case.
Yeah.
And on that note, she make a counter proposal to the item
That's what I talk about.
to say, if he wants to do a blessing, putting toilets, give the money to that is what he says. So it is totally in contrast with the item on the agenda, and that I will support. My hand is up. We've seen that with the fence and all that type of thing.
Just give me a moment. Councillor Whip, could you please proceed?
Madam Speaker, you need to be fair.
I'm first now.
You need to be fair.
Bit off your.
I did raise my hand before him.
I saw that.
Councillor Porter, just a moment.
Check the red light.
Yeah, point of order.
It's a point of order, okay.
Madam Speaker, no, I'm rising on precedence of the Speaker. The Speaker determines and we've gone over to voting now, so there's no further arguments. Then, Madam Speaker, perhaps just to assist the councillors if there's some confusion, the Speaker has asked for those in favor of the proposal as is. Then there are those in favor of the proposal as is by Councillor Gous. And then there are those who I presume are just against the item without being for any of the other proposals.
Yes.
So it's those three options. Thank you, Madam
Yes.
Speaker.
Thank you. Can we ask for the proposal of Councillor Gous? Just put up your hands.
Madam Speaker,
Councillor Contu, we are busy with voting. And then
no, I need a clarity before I can vote. I
but
cannot
you,
just vote.
Councillor Whip, could you please explain again? And that's the last time. Listen.
No, Madam Speaker,
Yeah,
can
just
you
listen to
give me a chance?
The points. Councillor Contu, make your mic.
Madam Speaker, the Speaker has determined that we've gone over to voting.
Yes.
We've actually started the process.
Yes.
The Speaker has asked those in favor of the proposal as it is in the agenda. Those people have raised their hands. It's been counted. Then there was a proposal for those in favor of the motion by Councillor Gous. They've raised their hands. It's been counted. And then there is voting for those who are against the item and not for any other proposal. So that is where we are now. Please, Madam Speaker, if we can conclude on the item as directed by the Speaker.
Thank you. Could you
Order, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Contu.
I want call the order. You give them a order, ne? When I raise the hand, you give the chief whip the order. I'm also raising to the point of order. We were the first to say that we are against.
That's right.
And they also do the same thing. We didn't count. We were supposed to first count.
That's exactly what we are.
Then then there's a new proposal that comes with a host of the willingness of that person. Then we'll be going there. Let's firstly count the first proposals. There was the other side, they counted. You didn't count us.
Now I want to know who's against this the proposal.
Madam Speaker,
Just put up your hands if the
Madam Speaker, this one is clear. As we heard here, the people who are going with the item, they raise their hands. And then the people who want to go with propose of host, they go their hand. We as the ANC, we stand that we are against the item. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Thank you. So, but now if you're, so we are fine. If you're against it, just put up your hand. That's what we say the whole time. Okay, thank you. And the right.
No, Madam Speaker, there's been a miscount now. A councillor has raised their hands on two proposals.
You can't.
The councillor of Ikosa has raised their hand both in favor of Councillor Gous and then against with the ANC. So if we can just have clarity there, please.
Then the counting it's 6 plus 7, and then for the item 17. So then thank you so much. And I'm very sorry, Council House, we are there. Thank you. We're going on. E3, item E3, 18, 11, 2023, service level agreement, Mossel Bay Municipality Debt Manager, PTY Ltd Limited as a tender, 436, stroke 2022, stroke 2023.